It's strange how money can make people forget love, even your own child. I never thought my daughter, Emily, would be one of those people. She was my world, my pride, my only child. I raised her alone after her father passed away. Life wasn't easy, but I always made sure she had everything she needed: ballet lessons, summer camps, a good education. I never told her that behind the calm, smiling mother she saw, I was building something far bigger than either of us imagined. For 25 years, I quietly ran my late husband's small construction business. I learned contracts, studied investments, and took risks that paid off beyond my wildest dreams. Through grit, timing, and more than a little luck, that business grew into a multi-million-dollar empire. By the time Emily turned 30, my net worth had crossed $33 million. But no one knew, not my friends, not my neighbors, not even Emily. I wanted her to value people over possessions, not money over meaning. When she got engaged, I couldn't have been happier. Jason seemed kind, attentive, maybe a little arrogant, but I brushed it off. Every mother sees flaws in her child's partner at first. I offered to help with the wedding, but Emily waved me off. "Mom, Jason's family is taking care of everything," she said, almost proudly. "You don't need to worry about a thing." It stung. I thought planning her wedding together would be our moment, mother and daughter, hand in hand. Still, I stayed quiet. I thought maybe this was her way of being independent. As months passed, I noticed a change. Emily called less often. When she did, she sounded rushed, distracted. "Jason says we should focus on the future, not the past," she'd say. The past apparently included me. The invitations arrived, glossy, embossed, and elegant, but my name wasn't on them. Not as a host, not as a contributor. Just, "Emily and Jason, together with Jason's parents, invite you." That hurt, but I told myself, this is her day, not mine. The wedding was held at a sprawling vineyard estate. The kind of place where chandeliers hang from trees and champagne flows like water. I wore a simple navy gown and my late husband's ring. As I walked into the hall, Jason's mother, Martha, gave me a polite smile that didn't reach her eyes. "Oh, you made it," she said. "We weren't sure if you'd find the place, it's quite exclusive." I forced a smile. "Yes, it's lovely. You've done a wonderful job." She patted my arm. "Emily's lucky to have found a family that can support her in ways others might not." I understood the jab. They thought I was broke. Maybe Emily had told them that. When the ceremony began, I felt my heart swell watching Emily walk down the aisle. She looked radiant, glowing. Every tear I'd cried for her, every sleepless night, it all felt worth it in that moment. After the vows came the reception. The air was thick with laughter and music. Speeches began. Jason's best man cracked jokes. Martha bragged about Jason's career, and then it was Emily's turn. She took the mic, slightly tipsy, and smiled. "I want to thank everyone who made this day possible," she said. "My wonderful in-laws, who paid for this beautiful wedding, and my mom." She paused. "Well, my mom couldn't contribute financially, but she's here, and that means something too, right?" Laughter rippled through the guests. I froze. The microphone picked up every word, every humiliation. My throat tightened as people turned to glance at me, some pitying, some amused. I tried to smile, but my lips trembled. Emily continued, unaware of the damage. "You know, my mom's always been thrifty. She taught me that money isn't everything, probably because she didn't have much. But look where we are now. Cheers to new beginnings." The room erupted in laughter and clinking glasses. I excused myself quietly and stepped outside. The night air was cool, crisp. I could hear the faint hum of music behind me, but inside, something cracked. For 30 years I had worked, sacrificed, and saved, not for recognition, not for show, but for love. And the one person I'd done it for just used me as the punchline of her speech. I sat on a bench, staring at the stars, fighting back tears. I didn't want to ruin her day, but Martha followed me outside, pretending concern. "Oh dear, don't take it personally," she said sweetly. "Young people can be blunt. You should be proud of her though. Jason says she's marrying into stability now." That word stability cut deeper than anything. I smiled faintly. "You're right, Martha. She deserves stability." But in that moment, I made a quiet decision. I wouldn't humiliate anyone. I wouldn't make a scene. But I also wouldn't let anyone mistake silence for weakness. The next morning, Emily and Jason stopped by my house to pick up a few things before their honeymoon. Emily was bright and breezy. "Mom, last night was amazing, wasn't it?" I looked at her. "It was beautiful," I said softly. "Congratulations, sweetheart." Jason gave me a polite nod. "We'll send you some pictures." Oh, and about the wedding gift registry. We noticed you didn't pick anything. I smiled. That's because my gift isn't on the list. Emily laughed. Oh, Mom, you don't have to worry. You've done enough by just being there. That line again, just being there. I nodded. You're right, but humor me, I'd like to talk when you get back from your honeymoon. Jason raised an eyebrow but didn't object. 2 weeks later, they returned, tanned and glowing from their trip to Greece. I invited them over for dinner, just the three of us. My table was simple but elegant. Crystal glasses, fresh flowers, a quiet dignity. Mom, this looks amazing. Emily said. Did you order from somewhere? No, I said. I cooked. We ate, laughed, and for a moment, things felt normal again. Then, as dessert was served, I stood. Emily, I said softly, I wanted to talk to you about something. She looked puzzled. Is everything okay? Do you remember your wedding speech? I asked, her cheeks flushed slightly. Oh, Mom, I was just joking. You know how people exaggerate in speeches? Don't tell me you're still upset. I smiled faintly. I'm not upset, but I realized that maybe I haven't told you much about who I really am. Jason leaned back. What do you mean? I walked to my study and returned with a folder. Inside were financial statements, property titles, and portfolio summaries. I placed them on the table. I've built something over the last few decades, I said quietly. Your father left me a small company, and I grew it. I own multiple properties, investments, and businesses. My net worth is around $33 million. The room went silent. Emily blinked. Wait, what? I met her eyes. I didn't tell you because I wanted you to value people for who they are, not for what they have. But when you called me broke, it wasn't the word that hurt. It was realizing that you measure worth in money alone. Her lip trembled. Mom. I didn't mean. Jason cut in, eyes wide. 33 million. Are you serious? I nodded. Completely. I kept quiet because love shouldn't need a price tag. Emily's eyes filled with tears. Mom, I was awful. I'm so sorry. I was just trying to impress everyone, to fit in with Jason's family. I didn't think. I reached out and held her hand. I know. That's why I'm telling you this now, not to shame you, but to remind you, your worth isn't tied to who pays for what. It's tied to who you are. She sobbed quietly. I don't deserve your forgiveness. I smiled. You're my daughter. You'll always have it. Weeks passed. Emily began visiting more often. Sometimes she'd come just to help me cook, or sit and talk. The distance between us melted slowly, replaced by honesty. One evening, she looked at me across the table and said, Mom, I want to be better. I've been thinking maybe I can help you with the business. Learn from you. I saw a spark in her eyes, the same spark I had when I started building everything. I'd like that, I said, and in that moment, I realized, money had divided us once, but it didn't have to define us forever. Sometimes, silence is powerful, but so is forgiveness. I kept quiet about my $33 million, because I didn't need the world to know, but when my own daughter called me broke, I finally spoke, not to prove my worth, but to remind her of hers. Love built my fortune, and love rebuilt my family.